Thank you so much, Prof, and thank you for your time. We want to understand what GMOs are. Tell us about yourself, where you're coming from, then the viewer can be able to understand where we are coming from and where we are going.
Thank you very much, Rose, for having me in this show. My name is Professor Dionysius Kiambe. Some people call me Dan, so you can also call me Dan. If you want to get out of the title circles, it's okay with me. I am a trained botanist with an honors degree from Nairobi University in the area of botany. Botany is the study of plants. I also have a master's in conservation of biodiversity from the University of Birmingham, and also a PhD in the same area, but specializing in application of what we call molecular genetics in the area of crop improvement and environmental conservation. I'm a scientist in that area of molecular biology. I've published a lot in that area, and I've actually engaged myself in the development of GMOs, especially during my stay at the University of McGill in Canada, where I was in the lab for about 3 years, and then I came back to Kenya, and I was heading the laboratory of molecular genetics of the International Crops Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics at Erie. So I have engaged myself with what I call heavy scientific research in this area of molecular genetics and application of the same in development of new crop varieties and in the environmental conservation. I've also been involved in promotion of agricultural biotechnology during my involvement with the what we call Open Forum for Agricultural Biotechnology in Africa, where I'm still serving as the alternate chairman of the Kenyan chapter. So we have been involved in all kinds of debates and engagements on this issue of GMOs at the political level, at the social level, and also at the community level. That is where I'm coming from.
As I told you, we have already collected views from the public, but now we are here to hear the experts' view and the facts and the truths around GMOs. What are GMOs, and what do you think when you hear what is being said and what you know from where you sit?
Rose, let me start by saying that there are a lot of myths, misconceptions, half-truths about what GMOs are. And let me give a little bit of a background. When you hear that a new variety of maize or beans or tomatoes has been developed, what happens is that breeders take material from one variety and cross it with another variety, and then we come up with a new improved variety. Maybe one variety is disease resistant, the other one is high yielding, and now we want to develop a new variety that is both high yielding and disease resistance. So he crosses these two parents so that he can come up with a variety that is both disease resistant and also high yielding. That happens in the natural environment, in the field, in an open field. But the same process can be done using what you call genetically modified technology, genetic modification. And what that simply means is putting a gene that is probably disease resistant into a crop that does not have that resistance. But instead of doing it in the field, we do it in the laboratory because the process is faster and we get the new variety much faster. We shorten the time it takes to develop that new variety by doing it in the laboratory. That's what that's the main difference.
Yeah.
But the process is different and it happens in the lab. But the gene is inserted in a laboratory situation and not in the open field.
Okay. Does it mean then, because we've had, for example, new varieties of maize that are drought resistant, pest resistant, do we classify that as GMO?
No, they are not GMOs because we do not actually alter the genes as such. But genetic modification, we put a gene that modifies the plant or the crop so that it expresses certain reactions that perhaps gives the new variety this resistance to crops. Take for example a GMO maize. A genetically modified maize variety is able to resist attacks from pests because there's a gene in it that produces some toxins that kills the pests that attack maize. So this gene is actually put directly in the crop, in the lab. So by genetic modification, it means that we have put that gene that modifies the chemical processes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have examples of crops already in Kenya that are genetically modified?
Yes, we do have genetically modified cotton. It is actually being grown. It was approved by the government, I think, sometime last year. And the genetically modified cotton is being grown in some parts of Western Kenya. And let me suffice it to say that this is a very, very significant step in improving the cotton industry in Kenya. Many years ago, the cotton industry used to be the second biggest employer, only next to the government. And because of the low productivity of cotton, because of pests and diseases, the cotton industry, literally collapsed. And we got an opportunity to revive the cotton industry by introducing these genetically modified cotton varieties that are resistant to pests, and they are much, much more high yielding. Already farmers are seeing the difference between the traditional varieties of cotton and the genetically modified cotton, which is more resistant to diseases and high yielding. That means the farmers are able to generate a lot more income from this genetically modified variety of cotton because they don't need to spend a lot of money on chemicals and pesticides, and at the same time it is high yielding.
Wow, that's a great point, and I think you, the viewer, needs to listen to this so that you understand and you move away from the kind of myths that are surrounding our GMOs.
We take a short break.